Welcome to Two Chefs, One Kitchen. Join Kyle and Rob for cuisine, cocktails, and conversation, hosted at Madeir's, 141 Main Street, Pembroke, New Hampshire.
So where did your love of food cooking come from?
I've always loved cooking. I never had to do it.
Because Billy.
But where did it come from? I mean, like you were growing up,
So
and
I-
you running around.
No, I genuinely would just watch my grandparents and my uncle Lionel, my grandma Ruth May, and Medea. And they all had different styles. And they all would cook. Are you recording?
Of course.
Oh, that's recording. I'm like, we got the introduction, I don't have to do it no more. So, I'll do it later. But I would genuinely watch them and just, because we did have family meals, and each one of them would cook in a different way. And there was different rules for when they cooked. So I would just watch and always love. My mom would cook, but when my mom cooked, no one's allowed in the kitchen. There's no helping her. Get the hell out of my way, I'm doing this, it'll be ready. We had a housekeeper who used to cook for us when my mom wasn't there. And I just would not be, you don't go under the housekeeper and watch the housekeeper cook.
Right.
So you be, doing whatever you're doing, and whenever food was ready,
Yeah, they'll let you know.
he'll let you know. And then it was like, hey, y'all come eat, your mom be home shortly, whatever, or I'm gonna have food ready for when your mom get home, her plate will be set to the side or something like that. But I've always loved it. What shocked most people was I didn't cook when I was growing up because everyone cooked for me. And once I got into the restaurant industry, like I started off with bartending and stuff like that, that was easy. But after doing serving all that stuff there, but getting on the back side of the house, I automatically would just be like, okay, well, no, you're not doing that right. This is how you do it. With in places that I worked at, like mom and pop places, and even with corporate places like, it's Texas Roadhouse here, but it was, what the hell was it in Louisiana? It's their competitors, but it was Logan's Roadhouse.
Oh, okay.
Logan's Roadhouse. And I'm like, oh baby, you down south. We're not gonna eat that steak that way. And and it was that conversation, and I just will always do that. And even once I moved up north, my brother would always cook. And because he just always would. Now, once my brother moved out, because he left, I then would cook, and I would cook for friends, and I would cook for other people, but I never cooked for myself. And so once, it was hilarious, because once I started the catering company and everything, everybody's like, when'd you start cooking? Yeah. And I'm like, why do things that other people are doing for you? Because what's going to happen is you're going to end up arguing with them about how to do it. And if I'm not going to tell you how to do it, I'm going to either just do it myself. I don't have time to argue on how to do something. I'll just do it myself. Or either I can show you how I do it, and we go from there. And even now, and like Kyle and I had this conversation earlier, because I suck, and I'll be honest. What I cook at home and the way I cook at home is different from the way I cook in the restaurant. And there's recipes that we have in the restaurant that should be the same way that I cook at home that I don't. And Kyle's like, you've never did that in the restaurant. He goes, the chicken at home tastes different from the chicken in the restaurant. And I'm like, that's because I don't do the same thing. And he's like, that's not what we do.
But you can do that at home, right?
Right. But my idea is, this is...
Yeah, but it's like if you make fried chicken, right? Or you make fried chicken all the time. You're doing it the same way all the time. Rob will make it 5 different ways, and we need to have consistency. So part of it is like, but wait, no, I really like it this way. It's like if I made red velvet cake, or we talked about the cheese biscuits. He's like, well, you do the cheese biscuits different at home versus the restaurant. And I said yes, because at home they're gone in like 2 minutes. Right? They come out of the oven, boom, the kids eat them, they're just gone. Here, it's bread service, so it lasts a little longer or something, but it was more I really like this fried chicken. Like, he got me hooked on him with his cooking because of his fried chicken at home. Brown paper bag, shaking it, this, that. And then we come here to the restaurant, he's like, this is how we're gonna do fried chicken. And I'm like, okay, that's not how we do it there. And then it comes out, and I'm like, I enjoy it, but I was like, and you wonder why I always crave fried chicken. He's like, what do you want me to cook? Like, if he cooks something, I'm like, I want fried chicken. Because at home, it's that fried chicken, and that's... It was funny of like, okay, you have that recipe, that style of doing it, just keep doing it that way because it's really well, but sometimes the brain is like, oh, but I'm going to try something a little different. I'm going to do it a little different like this, or I'm in the mood to do it like this today. Yeah,
Well, that's when you do it at home.
Right.
Keep the same.
Yeah.
So, and it's one of those things that I'm just like, and one of the things that Kyle mentioned, he's like, I'll just watch you, and those will become what the recipe is, because I'll write what I see you do, because that's what your mind is telling you to do,
Right.
versus what, because I have what I call a quick service mind when it comes to the restaurant, because everything at home is going to take an extra hour or so. So I'm like, I don't have time for all that. So I need to be able to get this produced and get it produced fast, but it still needs that same flavor profile. So I look at the flavor profile versus what it is.
it's like the hurricane, right? So this go around with bartenders, we're gonna have like those acid papers that go in the drinks. They're gonna have a color chart that they have to put next
Oh
to
my
it.
God.
Because Rob's very strict on his drinks, right? He's like spends a lot of time, and they're always the same. He'll mix it up. Let's say like we ran out of a certain type of rum, he'll use a different type of rum, or somebody wants it like a special drink, he'll make it. But a hurricane is a hurricane, right? Rob's hurricane is the way that it is. And so we could have 3 bartenders, they'd each make it, and they all come out 3 different colors. So I'm in the kitchen yelling at him. I'm like, Rob! He's like, what? Rob, those colors aren't right. So he'd have to go over, try it, and be like, okay, yeah. Because he wanted his hurricane a certain way. Don't worry, it wasn't you, Ellis.
Well, because the other thing is, I don't make O'Brien's hurricane. And what most people should think of hurricanes is O'Brien's from New Orleans. And I don't do damn cameras. I don't do, and well, my idea is I like the O'Brien's hurricane, but I know they're not what they used to be. And I know that they're mass produced. So
I don't like that.
right. So these are all individually still produced from home, same ingredients. I know exactly how they roll. When I say passion fruit, it's a real passion fruit. That's been actually squeezed and made by the good people of New Jersey.
Hashtag Goya is for Democrats too.
No, it's not.
That reminds me. I took my mom for her first time out of the United States. We went to Bangkok.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the opportunity to do this excursion where they take you out to the countryside and you're all on a bicycle. And we had a guide.
Oh, nice.
And he stopped us at a little farm, and the owner of the farm brings out like a selection of fruit just to take a break and everything. And one of the fruits she brought out was passion fruit.
Okay.
So I have it on video and I watch it sometimes to get a good laugh, because my mom takes a bite of the fruit and she's like, oh my God, like this is passion fruit. I never knew it was a fruit. I always thought it came in a can.
Was she
it's that-
drinking?
No, it was the middle of the day.
Right.
But you
Right.
think about it, like coming from Tennessee, she had never been out the country,
Right.
and passion fruit was always in a can.
It's like papaya. It's that thing in the fruit cups that everybody, it's that pink thing in the fruit cup that everybody puts away. Nobody eats it. Nobody knows that it's like this long thing. We call it papaya down in Costa Rica because that's what it smells like when you cut it up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Papaya, yeah, it's not the best smelling fruit.
I don't know. I cut one up the other day.
That is so true, though.
But do you eat fruit every day?
No, I don't.
Oh.
So I have a question.
Like vodka.
Well, no, I was gonna say with your portioning of cooking and stuff, I figured you had like a smoothie, yogurt, and fresh
No.
fruit and for breakfast.
So Kyle, I got to meet your mom and your dad
Yeah,
at a
at our house.
holiday party.
Yeah.
They're good workers. Boy.
Yes.
Yes, thank
They
you.
did good here.
So that maybe was it a year ago or more? Maybe 2 years.
It was this past Christmas. It was this past January that we did it at our house.
Oh, okay, wasn't that long ago?
Yeah.
So what was growing up like for you?
Normal.
Like, what's normal? Like,
No, like, okay, so
Chris has
no.
started the conversation.
no, just ask.
No.
Because I saw his
Something
dad
that-
as being like this very, dad stayed kind of in the chair, very conversational. Mom was up and about, making sure you had what you needed.
Yes. So mom was the stay-at-home mom for most of my life. Dad went to work, and they worked very hard to, make sure we had what we needed. That they were the first ones in the family to buy a house, moved us to New Hampshire, gave us the life from Dracut. I mean, we grew up in Dracut for the first until third grade, and then we moved to New Hampshire. But no, my dad worked, mom, and then when we got older, my mom tried to go get jobs, but she just wasn't having any of it. But it was it's that life that you're like, okay, you come home, the house is always spotless clean. Dinner is always served at 5:30. Dinner was every single night, 7 nights a week, together around the dinner table. Unless it was summertime and it was barbecue, then we'd be outside or something like that. Even if we were to order subs or pizza, it's not like we were running to our bedrooms because, we didn't have telephones or TVs in our bedrooms either. We had a living room that didn't have a TV. The family room had the TV. The living room was the sitting room for socializing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
That's
not like
what
we
I
were
want.
bougie. It was just,
That ain't gonna happen.
we were very talkative, and you got milk for dinner. Right? It was milk or water, and that's what you got. And there was always meat, potatoes, 2 vegetables. And then every single night there was always fresh cucumbers, tomatoes, or something on the dinner table.
Did you have a garden?
And no, but we would she'd buy it at the store. During summertime, we'd go to any of the farm stands up here. And my dad just worked very hard. And
What was his back profession? Like,
so he was in the Navy for 4 years. He did his
Gonna pop right back in.
tour of service, Vietnam, all that sort of stuff. Then he came back and went to night school to get his associates in accounting. So he worked at the post office for 30 whatever years. He worked his way up from letter carrier, working nights 3rd shift, to being head accountant at the post office. Then he started the Postal Credit Union in Lowell before he retired. And then now for the last 10 years, he's been the chief operating officer of the Firefighters Credit Union in Lowell.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he just stays busy, and my mom has had little stints jobs here and there, but she likes to take care of people, right? Even I'm a 44-year-old man, and even to this day, she's like, if you want to bring your laundry down, you got that sense meeting them, right?
Yeah, she's
So
definitely
the
the
grandchildren are spoiled, and we're very spoiled too. We haven't bought clothes. I don't know when the last, I'll go to
Why, she
Savers
just
and,
keeps buying them?
Yeah.
I happened to be at the outlets today, and
She has an eye for that.
I got 6
She
shirts
has
for you
an eye
guys
for that.
because I was tired of seeing those ugly ones. Or, oh, you need pants for work? Okay, let's go shopping. I'm like, no, I can really go afford to buy my
Yeah.
own pants. But she's like, no, she wants
That's
to
what
do
she
it.
does.
So then when we're like, okay, we needed to buy some fancy clothes, and I was like, can you meet us at Macy's? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. No, it wasn't even to buy it. I was like, I just need an opinion of what looks good, help me with colors.
That
'cause-
was a good one.
so she meets us at Macy's, and then we're fighting to pay, and then she's yelling at us in the store, and I'm like, I didn't bring you here.
Right.
So then we're like, okay, fine, we'll take you out for a nice lunch. So we go out for a nice lunch, and then it says when you have to run to the bathroom, grab the waitress and be like, here,
Yeah,
take this,
yeah,
otherwise
yeah.
my mother's gonna try to. So no, they're just very giving and gracious people, and yeah, no, I had a great childhood, great growing up, and the girls hear about it all the time, and they're so jealous because. No, we weren't rich, but whatever money they had, they saved and put towards us. So we had 4-wheelers, and we lived in the woods. So we had BB guns and all that sort of New Hampshire type stuff, which was fun.
Well, you're born and raised in New Hampshire as well.
Yes, and we were in the woods growing up too. Always out there.
And family dinners every night?
Not every night, but my mother was just like his. I mean, she did all the work, all the cooking, all the cleaning.
That's where I got all the inspiration for baking, was because, birthday cakes would be bought because I like ice cream cake. So my mom would go to
Oh.
Carvel, and that's what I would get.
Oh,
But
Carvel, are they still around?
no,
They were good.
Oh,
that was the
Sure.
best. No, so now you get Friendly's. No, now you get a Friendly's ice cream cake. And
You're
I'm
not
like,
going to get
That's
those for
fair.
much longer
no,
either.
Dairy
What
Queen
about
does good ice cream cake.
Blake's? Did they sell? Because they sell the ice cream. They sell the.
So we're gonna cut to scene 2 because I don't want to talk about Blake's with their their $4.50 breakfasts.
I don't know what Blake's is, but
I was talking about
Blake's is like a
Kind of like a
Friendlies.
Friendlies, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
slow.
But anyway, so like all of our treats and stuff were homemade by her. Like she wasn't a big pie cake lady.
Okay.
It was cookies, black moons, or what you all call whoopie pies.
Oh, okay.
That sort of stuff. So that's what I grew up on. And
See, I was fortunate. My mom was a bartender. My mom owned a bar, so she worked at a bar. She's a cocktail person. So I grew up drinking. Okay, you know, she was a single working mom. I grew up drinking. So we have, like today, I've made a pineapple ginger cocktail with vodka and just a little bit of fresh lime juice, because you always need to ask for your drink. But a little ginger, as you taste it, gives you just a little hint of something different from
Very
just your regular pineapple. I've given you a lovely, dirty old black raspberry cocktail, vodka based on this one here. Something a little sweet, not too sweet, because I know we got to keep everything down.
Yeah.
Back it up. You got a dirty old orange zest coffee martini, because I know you need to wake up.
Oh, I do, huh?
We're gonna pop you on up. We're gonna pop you on up. And Kyle loves his favorite, the orange soda and vodka.
There you
If
go.
not that, rum and coke.
What's the orange soda? Fanta.
Fanta,
That's
my
his favorite
yeah.
one. That's not what we
It's not
have.
up here though, is it?
It is now.
There are some places.
They
but-
just,
Yeah.
Coca-Cola just got the deal for up here, because at first it was just some
And it looks like
Southern
I'm
thing.
ready for
Yeah.
another round at the table.
Yeah.
All right. Catch you next time.
I'm like, so thank you so much. We'll be right back with Two Chefs, One Kitchen. Welcome to the bar side.
It's in a package.
Thanks, Julia. You know she's rolling over in her grave right now,
Yes.
saying that is not how you make a hollandaise sauce.
It comes in a package.
All right, welcome back to Two Chefs, One Kitchen. I'm Kyle.
I'm Rob.
We're here with Dr. Chris and Jeffrey LMT. That stands for Licensed Massage Therapist. We're having some nice conversation, some nice cocktails.
It's that joke.
And did I mention Dr. Chris? That's doctor, comma
But
PhD.
not a medical doctor. Not
That's,
a
I said
medical
comma
doctor.
PhD.
Okay.
I'm going to change the conversation a little bit.
It's that joke.
I'm sorry.
So,
And now it apparently is two black men take over the show.
All my life.
We should have said.
Is this what you've been waiting for?
Yes.
All day long, he's been thinking what he's gonna say.
No, I have not. I didn't know what the plan was. So describe for me kind of your experience being an interracial couple in New Hampshire.
Oh.
Well, my biggest pet peeve is going out to eat. Because we are always asked if we'd like separate bills. We're not big on PDA or anything like that, but we're never feel comfortable to even like put my hand across the table because people are just looking at you like, oh, two
That's
guys
why
are
you
going
do
out
it.
to eat. And no, sometimes we do it and stuff like that. Or you know, if we'll touch each other, go in the bathroom or something like that. But I mean, people generally are just like nice, but it's New Hampshire. Like they don't treat you any differently. Like I don't feel like we get treated like a couple or anything like that. I don't feel like we make enough interracial jokes while we're there at the table that the server is kind of like, okay, I get it. But more often than not, the one thing that annoys me is at the end of the meal, they're always like, so, two separate bills? And I'm like, did you just ask that hetero couple, or did you just ask that other interracial couple, or did you just go ask that black couple? No,
But
you didn't.
was it male? So
No, it's not. It's male female, but that's my issue of it's more of the gay than the interracial that I feel slighted on.
yeah,
I
I never
do
thought
think-
about it as asking if you want separate checks, because whenever I go out to eat with another friend, it's always, do you want separate checks?
With another friend.
Right, but if you are a
But I'm
server,
just saying.
but if you're a server in the industry, right, and this has happened at some nicer places. So I'm not saying like going to Friendlies, I could
Right,
expect that.
right.
If you're in the industry for that long, you should understand body language and understand who is actually intimate and getting it on together versus who's just there as bros.
Right.
All right.
What was Bobby?
Welcome back to the checkerboard. Black, white, black, white. We're having dinner. Fried chicken. You know Mama says fried chicken. But we bougied it up a little bit with some risotto. Risotto. Hey, he's a baseball player.
Yeah.
2 points for me. Sports reference.
There you go.
Oh, good.
That works.
Remember in
Some good drinks.
no, it's in Billy Madison, where she asks him to go up to the board and try and spell risotto, and he can't do his Z's. He didn't know how to do cursive Z's, so he did this. It was really cute because they don't teach cursive in school anymore, right?
They
This
don't.
is true.
Like, do your grandkids know how to write cursive?
Haven't asked them, but I doubt it.
They're not old enough to write.
Well, the
they
one's
are.
10.
Oh. Because I'm thinking of the
That's
little
fifth
one.
grade.
There's actually 2 girls that are 12 and 14.
Wait a
Do your
minute,
kids know how to write cursive?
My kids?
Yeah.
Couldn't
Boys?
tell you.
Yes, they do.
Thank you, surrogate father.
They do. The boys.
You sure?
Yes. They read it. Yes.
So we have Southern fried chicken with a sweet pea risotto.
Okay.
We have to bougie up just a bit.
You did. Good
Just
job.
have to bougie up just a little bit.
And we did home style fried chicken. So you got the brown paper bag and all.
Ooh.
And now I'm going on Amazon and buying a carton of brown paper bags.
Yes, that's a must.
Thank you.
Okay. Glad you finally came.
Cheers to brown paper bags.
You can't make.
You can get them at Market Basket, you know.
Do you know somebody that works there where I can get them for free? Otherwise, Amazon just gave us this nice credit card.
Oh, well.
So,
The interest rate ain't too bad on it. It's like 19%.
I love that we're eating fried chicken with fork and
For
knife.
night, right? So
that was for the risotto, so you could scoop it onto your
Right.
fork.
And then it just all kind of worked together.
There's some white pepper in the risotto, give it a little bit of bite on your tongue. So that bite, that's the white pepper.
It's the white pepper.
Because I love white pepper to bring heat rather than like to balance it out with cayenne. But if you want to make something a little like have a heat to it, but not be like that Mexican or that Southern, white pepper is lovely for it.
So, what makes it white pepper versus black pepper?
So at the store, the label says white pepper, and all of the pepper inside is white. It is not black. You should know the
Blanco.
difference.
Blanco.
so
Is it a different pepper though? Obviously,
It's not.
a different-
Oh, I don't know the whole peppercorn history. I don't know that.
So the peppercorns themselves are without the husk. Therefore, that's how you get the whiteness of them. They're not dyed or anything such as they're without the husk of the black peppers. So
I'm
they're not
picking mine
dyed.
up with my.
Go
Do
Campbell
they have their
that.
eyebrows done? With the white peppers?
Just trying to do it.
So, bitch, I'm trying to. I had my glasses on so you couldn't see. What do you think?
I
I
like
like
them.
them. Totally
Very
different
good.
than when we first saw you.
And you now can see. I see
Very
the
nice.
difference. And I like
Can you
it.
see the difference?
I can
Yeah,
see the
you don't look
difference.
stoned all the time.
And I like. Your eyes are not as closed, and you look like you're paying attention. You're more focused, and I
I'm
can.
awake.
You're awake. And
So
it
you know what my response was?
I'm
You
scared.
got blue eyes.
Yes. Yes.
Boy, the chicken's good.
You like that?
Yeah, everything's good.
So, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where will you be?
On a personal level or business level?
Both.
On my knees gagging.
That's personal.
No, we have a kitchen. We can do it in the kitchen too.
I'll run the world.
What's that mean?
No, who runs the world? Girls. Go back to Pitch Perfect, all right?
So I'm like,
No, because now he's gonna be like, I'm gonna be mayor.
no, I don't want to be mayor. They can keep that. No, in 5 years, I hope to be at a point of establishment that I'm able to provide more for the community and still not hurt myself doing it. At this point, we do things for the community, but it's not always to our benefit. But we do it because it's the right thing to do. And I want to get to the point where we can do it, and it's more or less of a mutual
Yeah. It's a win-win.
correct.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's more or less like, okay, I gotta come out of pocket. I gotta, I'm gonna have to put this bill in that it is what it is. And that could hurt in.
So when we were in Manchester with the restaurant, we both had this strong passion of like wanting to sort of change the way they do business, the way that they operate. Yeah, like the city relies on the businesses to foot the bill for so many things. Like even in town Manchester with their downtown streetscape improvements and this and that, and it's like that's not like all the money that goes into it. It's not bringing that money back to the businesses. Right. That the businesses put into it, they're not really getting it back by having flowers or this and that. Right?
But
They need to have better.
do it.
They need to have better sidewalks, or they need to have better parking, or better access, or something like that, or better signage, right? Like rather than go a year without flowers, or put some grasses that can deal with drought, right? So it can be water conservation, and just do some signage type stuff. But now being here, he still has this like personal passion of doing it. I'm less motivated now without having a business there because his residence is still there. So it's like,
And like even looking at the planning board, like I was researching green involvement in green buildings and things like that. And in the city of Manchester in 2006, they actually had a green plan that was incorporated into the master plan, where they did green walkways, they were encouraging businesses to do green buildings and things like this. But if you look at these buildings today, none of them are doing it. It's like it didn't work in the first couple of years, so they gave up.
Oh, okay.
Even though that knowing that certain green sustainability is going to be a long run win for them, or a long run win for everyone, I'm not seeing that part of the master plan being unfolded. And if it started in 2006, by this point we should see the fruit of that, and we don't. So it was a thing about the Riverwalk and the Greenway, and right now, even with the Riverwalk, it's still a struggling thing that they're trying to get to. As far as getting, like, there's several organizations that help with it, such as Manchester Connects, Manchester Loop, the Mill Yard, and all of these things are on the Riverwalk, but none of them are working together to see that we have a Riverwalk that is accessible for everyone and advertised and promoted to everyone. Because not for nothing, and I said this time and time again, Manchester is a walking city. You can walk that entire city from north to south, east to west, within an hour and a half to 2 hours at most,
Right.
from one end to the other end. But why would you do that when you don't have, when someone's not telling you, oh, if you take the rail trail, you can see all these wonderful sights. If you take the Riverwalk, you can see all these wonderful sights. Like I remember you did a flag challenge, and you were walking through the city, and you were documenting and taking pictures of all the different flags that they had throughout the city.
I also did a scavenger hunt where they gave me different monuments to see and plaques and cat alley and stuff like that.
Yep.
mm-hmm.
And things like that should be promoted more.
Right. So do you think?
But in 5 years, I'd like to see her still here.
Oh, okay. That was my next question.
Like,
He-
yeah,
he's not
Still here.
here, or if things work out and you have the right following, it would be nice to have like your own little space with outdoor.
Right.
Okay.
Like that would be cute.
Maybe
Like
buy
a-
a building.
Like Fratello's Foundry, that sort of, not like that size or anything like that, but to have a real estate component with that's ours and the ability to sit outside. Because it's a big thing we look for when we go out to eat.
And being new to Pembroke, right now, Pembroke does not have an ordinance for sitting outside, so it's something new to them. And we just didn't feel like this being our first year open, a battle that we need to take at the end of the summer to say, hey, let's get some outdoor seating.
I bet you next year there'll be outdoor seating.
Correct. Outdoor seating, better, not more parking, but the way they situate their parking can be did differently. And it benefits to say, well, we have the space for it. What if we go diagonally and park, or versus park on this angle, or park in a different area? which will allow it to be more walkable, it to be more accessible for everyone. Because right now, a lot of it is just, it's quintessential Pembroke. And it's not that you want to change it, you just want to integrate it to a part of the community that is accessible for all.
Right. So do you consider New Hampshire home?
No.
Carl does.
Well,
He was born and raised in Hudson. Home will always be Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Family gone, family not that and I visit, but I haven't lived there in over 20 years. But that will always remain home.
Okay.
I got
But
another plate.
No.
It was pretty good.
that's all.
Sorry, our maid service is off for the night Sunday.
But is it my second home? Yes.
Okay.
It's my
New
second.
Hampshire's home to me. Yeah.
Yes. It's definitely a second home. It's where
Where do you
I
consider
choose to.
Wherever I am.
Okay. Wink and nod.
I don't know, right? I still do not consider New Hampshire home, not even a second home, and I've been here for 8 years.
9.
I've been since 2012.
He's doing the math. Don't worry about it.
Jesus Christ, I thought we were married for 9 years.
Wait, was this a mail order bride?
He showed up in New Hampshire, I snagged him.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like home. Yeah.
What stops it from feeling like home?
I think it's the sense of being seen. And when I say that, I mean that in a literal context. I was at Starbucks in Bedford with my mother, and we were standing in line behind a white gentleman and just looking at the pastries and everything. And a white lady comes in, and she immediately gets in front of us to place her order, and the white gentleman that had been in front of us turns around and says, "Excuse me, ma'am, these people were standing in line waiting." And her response was, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see them." And I didn't feel, and she was sincere.
She was honest. She
She
didn't
was
see.
honestly sincere. I'm like, okay, but how can you not see this? Right? How can you not see this?
It's like the motorcycle thing. So they tell you on a motorcycle that you have to imagine yourself as being invisible. People will see you across the way, but because there's a car behind you, you automatically become a blind spot to them. Which is dumb as all hell, but it's true. Because they are not used to seeing that motorcycle in such a narrow light. They're used to seeing that big vehicle behind them. Therefore, they blindly don't see that motorcycle. So the motorcyclist has to actually look out for those people who don't see them, even though they're right there in front of their face. And it's kind of like, do I have to make a scene for you to understand that I'm here? Because that's not what I always want to have to do.
Right.
You're gonna have to finish that up because we're gonna get down and dirty. Lick your fingers. We're gonna play Never Have I Ever.
Oh,
No, I
before
want
you
a
boys
napkin and another piece of chicken. I ain't
Oh,
playing
bougie
no game.
bitch!
No, I don't need chicken.
We don't
But
have
I
any
want
more chicken. Do you know how many chickens?
he's going to grab a napkin.
I
We
wanna-
did not harm or any animals in the making of this video. Other than the chicken. You know you can buy a chicken for $2.59?
Where?
Tractor Supply.
Oh,
So here's
They sell chickens at Tractor. Oh,
Yeah,
live
yeah.
chickens.
So this
Oh,
is how
I
my
see.
economics brain works. You pay $2.59 for a chicken that's like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to give food, water,
Right.
love, care, like all of that. How in the hell is anybody making money by selling a chicken for $7.99
Because
after it's been
mass
rotisseried?
Mass produced. And the rotisserie chickens you buy at the store,
At Shaw's, yeah.
yeah, they're on their way out. It's either you do the rotisserie or you throw it out. It's past the expiration date.
well, that's always a lovely thing.
Well, I'm just letting you know.
Right. So have you ever played Never Have I Ever?
Never
Years
will
ago,
I
when
ever.
was much younger.
All right,
Never
so
will
what
I
we do
ever.
here is
I'm not giving it an honest answer.
we get so you get 10 fingers, right?
Okay.
10 fingers.
Somebody's gonna say something like, I'll say, never have I ever had a cocktail.
Okay.
If you have done that, you put your finger down.
Okay.
If you have not ever had a cocktail, you leave your finger up.
Okay.
Are we playing like that we're on camera, or are we playing?
Are you aware of the rules?
I am now, but I'm
All right.
going to be very cautious what I say.
We'll be back. He's gonna grab that out of the way. I'm joking. We're not gonna be back. We're right here. This is real.
10 fingers.
10 fingers up.
Gotcha.
Never have I ever streaked through a mall.
Okay.
Y'all good boys so far.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Doctor.
Good one.
Oh, we have to come up with them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so it goes around the room.
Never have I ever stole toothpaste from the Family Dollar.
Wow, that's pretty specific and pointed at somebody.
Right.
Oh, Lord.
It looks like you've done that, so you should put a finger down.
No, I've never stolen.
Oh!
I've never stolen toothpaste.
I see.
Never have I ever gone naked in a waterfall.
Oh, there we go.
Look, I mean, how many fingers you put down at once?
Well, I've been many times.
Wait, how you go naked like 90% of your day? How is it that
Not
you've
in
never
the
been
water.
under
Not
a
in the
waterfall?
waterfall.
I'm gonna go fucking spray the hose when we get home.
I'm like,
You've been naked under a waterfall?
Yes. I've been in several
You had your
waterfalls.
clothes on.
No, I did not. I was in Costa Rica
And you had your clothes
with
on.
Felipe.
Oh!
All right.
That was
I'll give him
pre-Jeff.
that one.
I was in Boy Scouts.
Because when we
but
were in
it
Costa
still
Rica,
counts.
you had your clothes on.
That was before. That's why I kept them on after that first one.
He didn't want to get pregnant again.
okay.
Why do you got a finger missing?
Because I've been naked under a waterfall.
Really? Where was that? So, man.
Scouts.
Oh. That'll be my next question.
Never have I ever jumped off of a bridge.
Oop, I'm down to 2 fingers. Maybe I'll go like this.
Never have I ever. Roadhead.
Boom! Oh!
You really are dumb today.
No, I'm looking. What's wrong here?
With a,
Blow job in the car.
yeah. Is it giving or
down.
receiving?
It doesn't matter. That's why I just said roadhead.
Oh, well.
I'm thinking of
How did you
roadkill.
get? You got 3? Okay.
Yes.
It's your turn.
Never have I ever cooked naked in the kitchen.
You don't cook, bitch. Leave that finger.
The life before
Never
Jeffrey.
have I ever had sex with a priest.
That sounded like a show-off moment there.
Yes, it was.
So is there a difference between a
It
priest
wasn't a
and a preacher?
molestation.
I'm like, is there a difference between
A
a priest
man
and a
of the
preacher?
cloth.
I'm like, not clear.
Anyone.
Okay, so
Rabbi.
you go ahead and put that finger down because you obviously are trying to justify this.
I got one hand down.
So what happens is the first person out is the biggest whore.
Oh.
Only in that question.
No, overall.
Yeah, right.
Never
All right,
have
can I
I
just put my hand
ever. Okay. Never have I ever. Oh, that's bad. I'm not gonna say that one. Never have
Get a
I.
finger down.
Look,
if you
okay,
do.
look, okay. Never have I ever had sex on an airplane.
Mm, mm.
Well, does a hand job count?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's, okay. I'm down.
I was like, did you get the hand out to yourself or?
Well, that would be sex.
Never have I ever worn high heels out in public.
The pictures to prove it.
Yes, we know. We've seen them.
Never have I ever been skinny dipping.
Oh my God, I'm down to 2 fingers. I'll put these on.
Wow, I've got 5.
Go ahead, Jeffrey.
I should have been thinking. Never have I ever skydived.
Mm. Never have I ever had plastic surgery.
Wait. That wasn't plastic, that was cosmetic.
Oh, Lord.
Cosmetic.
Well, I think we know who won that game.
It wasn't plastic. There was no plastic involved.
Oh.
Cheers to Jeffrey.
Yeah, Jeffrey.
Thank you, Dr. Chris and Jeffrey, for joining us.
It was a
Yes.
pleasure.
Awesome
Thank you for
having
the
you guys.
chicken was delicious.
You're welcome.
Can't
See
wait
us
to
next
come
time.
for opening.